And here we are in Playas del Duque, off to Immacura, which is Johann Schumacher's clinic. Johann came on the program a couple of months ago, and now it's an opportunity to come inside and see more about what it's all about.
How are you doing?
Very well, thank you. And here they are. Wow, Johann, this is a nice big sign. I don't know how I drove past and didn't see it. Immacura Med. So you're here in Playas del Duque within the Med clinic.
Yes. Hello, Nicole.
Hi.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome to Immacura. So today I want to show you something about the installations here at our clinic. And so, for example, we are doing complementary treatment with nanothermia here, and I can show you the machine and can tell you how it works. What it's all about, it's non-invasive cancer health. And the dendritic cell therapy is a Nobel Prize treatment with all the scientific proof, and we want to catch the cancer from all kind of angles. So we are not just targeting the tissue to cut it or to poison it, others can do it, but we help to solve the root cause, to help the immune system fighting against cancer and overcoming cancer from within.
This young man who I met at the entrance but had no idea who he is Noah, and it's Johann's son, and you're a medical student.
Yes, indeed.
And you
Hello.
are specializing in what your dad's doing? I mean, how do you feel about all this?
Well, for now I'm in the general part of the career of med school, and well, meanwhile I'm working at Immacura whenever I've got a break or I'm not between exams, and I'm really happy about it.
It must give you first-hand experience, and things make a lot more sense when you go back to study.
Sure, of course. Yeah, I'm seeing that immunotherapy is a new thing that's coming in big for cancer patients, and it's an alternative that's taken more seriously every day, and it's really a good option to fight against cancer without the nasty side effects of a chemotherapy or radiotherapy, and I really think that we can bring hope here for many cancer patients.
Oh, it's absolutely fabulous. I have to ask you, frequently in the educational system, when you have cutting-edge new technology and information, it's not always as quick to catch up. Do you ever find the things you have to learn are contrary to what you now know?
Well, yes, it's true that from my work at Immacura, I learned a lot of things that I only start to look at in the career, because it's true that the first thing you would learn is in cancer health is chemotherapy, radiotherapy, all this old school clinical medicine options. But it's also true that you can't ignore 2 Nobel Prizes in cancer health going for immunotherapies. So they do start teaching us a bit about immunotherapy, and I hope it will, of course, get more and more.
They're going to be very impressed with you, young man, when you start sprouting all your inside information. Okay, well, lovely, thanks. It's nice to meet you, Noah, and I can't wait now to chat more with you and Dad and take a look around.
Thank you.
His proud dad in the background filming it all.
Good morning.
Nanothermia machine, where we give an additional treatment to cancer patients. Nanothermia has the capacity to heat up just the cancer cells to a fever-like temperature. It has been shown that cancer cells are very sensitive about fever, and they collapse much earlier than normal cells. So if normal cells are not affected, just the viruses and the cancer cells are affected. And with this machine we are able to kill cancer cells in a non-invasive way. And it showed great results together with dendritic cell therapy, because the nanothermia opens up the cancer cell and weakens the cancer cell, and then the immune cell comes in and kills the tumor. And for example, we had a patient with a brain tumor, and already in 4 weeks the brain tumors all shrank to half of their size. The earlier a patient comes to us and the less invasive treatment the patient had, the better it is. But even we are treating patients in terminal stages where the target may not be really to get them from terminally ill and being with a life experience of 2 months. But in those cases, we try to prolong the lifespan, plus to give them a treatment which does not further hurt, which does not limit the quality of life in their last etape. We can never promise that anything would not happen in cancer, because cancer is really tricky. But what we can say is that every cancer patient who goes through dendritic cell therapy has a better outcome compared to not having it. And I can clearly say, if it wasn't for the money, every cancer patient would have dendritic cell therapy. Of course, it is a private treatment and it has to be paid out of own pocket, unfortunately, but it's absolutely worth doing. And even if a patient is undergoing chemotherapy, the side effects of chemotherapy are a lot less. For example, we had women who did not lose their hair during chemotherapy by combining it with dendritic cell therapy. It's always a decision to take between the doctor and the patient. There are patients who say, okay, I first try the non-invasive option, do a close monitoring, and I will have the option of the traditional treatment still.
How long would one need to see results?
Usually we say 3 months, because it's a long-term treatment or middle-term treatment, and after 3 months the results should show up, and usually they do.
Well, that's really nice to know. Okay, so definitely an alternative, something can be done complementary. Do you find that existing medical procedures put more negatives on this because it's just changing the way things have always been done? People don't like to lose clients.
Well, I don't want to comment on traditional medicine, but what I can say is that our patients are really glad that they found this alternative as a complementary or as an alternative to the path that was suggested by the hospitals, and their outcomes are always better than not having it, or better than what was prognosed from their hospitals and oncologists.
When we spoke last time, also now with Noah, and again he said 2 Nobel Prizes, this technology, this information, this isn't new as such, but it is very well researched.
It is very well researched. For dendritic cell therapy, there are more than 70,000 clinical papers, and more than 7,000 clinical studies have been done. They all show it is safe, it doesn't bring any harm, and is efficient. And in comparison to having dendritic cell therapy or just the traditional ones, all the clinical studies show that it's a huge benefit to have dendritic cell therapy. As we are open for patients from all over the world, the minority would arrive to the desk here. And then we need their medical reports and we give them their options. And then when they decide to go ahead, we have an appointment with the doctor, and the doctor would go through all the medical history and would then prescribe to have the treatment. And so the treatment usually is, there is a blood draw done, and in the next following week or maximum 2 weeks later, the serum is prepared, comes back by injection or infusion to the body. And in the time where patients are here, they might have the nanothermia as a complementary treatment, they might have further blood studies, they might further diagnostics on their cancer case, and we give them an integrative treatment that includes nutrition therapy, that includes well-being coaching, that includes or might include oncophysiotherapy, and we try to help the patient from all kind of angles to get well, to get back, to manage their health situation, and to get back with their self-confidence.
Obviously, Marbella is a great place to hang out in the meanwhile, so that's a good plus for Marbella, but would you need to be here for the 3 months?
No, the patients usually stay here. Some, for example, they could come just for a blood draw, and then they return for receiving their serum and their injection. Others stay for 2 weeks, and if it is nanothermia included, it would be 4 weeks to stay. And then the monitoring of the condition would be via video calls and via
Telephone
and all sort of communication. In medicine, there is never a guarantee for healing, and so we are not allowed in medical at all to claim that would heal. But what I can tell you is there are loads of studies out, and with the chemotherapy there are studies that say that the 5 years survival is below 10%. So that is a kind of guarantee, with a 90% probability you would die after 5 years. The dendritic cell therapy wouldn't give any guarantee that it works in this specific case, because it is many factors. But what we can say is that according to the studies and our own experience, 55% of the cancer patients that were treated with dendritic cell therapy are in partial or full remission. And that is a great message.
It really is fascinating. I hope everybody at least comes and chats with you and gets first-hand feedback, because if this is what's going on in your life, I think investigating something that's been so highly recognized and awarded it's a new way forward. I think it's amazing that we have it in Marbella, and thank you very much. A big investment to bring this machinery here to Marbella. So thank you. And Noah, we'll obviously be seeing you here. Where are you studying?
I'm studying in Germany right now.
Das ist good. Any reason in particular for Germany?
As I'm half German, it was a good option, and when I got my my career seat there, just right after applying, I didn't think about it twice, and I went for it.
Wonderful, but always nice to come home to Marbella.
Sure, of course.
The right answer. We love Marbella. Johan, Noah, thank you both so very, very much.